Okay, let's get started creating this bowl. I think I've given you enough information on what I've done so far. But I covered it with regular translucent clay. This is Primo. I rolled it out on a number 5. And I took it all the way around the bowl. And I made sure all the air bubbles were out. Because you do not want air bubbles in this at all. And my canes and your canes, of course, are going to be different. Our bowl size may be different. Whatever. It's not going to be the same. And the translucent cane, the cane that I made, the big one, is a translucent base. And I reduced it enough for whatever I was making with it, because this is an old one. And I reduced it down as far as it could go without losing all of its design. So you need to be careful when reducing your canes so that you don't lose the design in them. And that can be easily done, so just be careful with that a little bit. So I'm taking my cane slices, and these are paper thin. I cut them with my Lucy Clay slicer, my big one. And they're paper thin. I don't know if you can see how thin they are. They're really, really thin. And I'm just going to put them on here. And where I cut them, the cane laid against the cutter and left me a flat side, which I was really anxious about. I like that for where I'm putting it on these bowls. And I'm not joining them together. And this is just going to be the little design feature. And I'm going to add the other canes up in here. This is my flower garden type thing again. But this cane sort of reminded me of a flower garden. And I'm sort of trying to get them as even as I can. And I'm just rolling them down. And I don't know if what I envision will work or not. I've not tried this. I'm hoping that this will come up as sort of a frosted type effect on the inside of the bowl, which will be the other side of this translucent clay. And not really look crystal clear, because we know translucent clay isn't clear. If this goes a little bit yellow, I'm fine with that. I have yellows and greens and oranges in this big cane. I reduced down my leaf cane that I had, my orange and red one that I made. And I'm just going to put a couple of leaves on here. And I'm just going to gently press them on for right now. I'm going to take one of my flowers. And I like that, so I'm going to put them in place with my cane bender. Just gently roll over these to set them down. And you know, since I have a translucent background, I don't think I need to cut out any of make the indentions on the sides of the flowers, because these flowers are packed and translucent. So they're going to sit down there, and I'm just putting 2 leaves in a flower, and I'm going to do that all the way around. And I cut 2 slices of each cane. And these flower canes and the butterfly canes that I'm going to use, the flower canes and the butterfly canes and the ladybug cane and the hummingbird cane are all canes that I bought from Toni's Street. She makes such wonderful canes, and they're gorgeous. And I just love to have her canes for things. And I'm not putting the flowers in the center of my circles. I'm just setting them on there and going to roll them out. I'm just trying to get all of my canes down smooth. Okay, here we are so far with the flowers on there. And again, this is where I find the cane benders to come in really handy, because I can use this smaller one and use it like an acrylic rod, and I don't apply as much pressure to it because I think it's smaller. This is the top of the bowl. And the reason I'm putting so many layers on here is because you want the base layer of clay thick enough to where you can get it off the bowl, because we're going to take the translucent clay off the bowl when it's baked and finished. Let's put a hummingbird up here. Oop, the other one's right there. Let's put him somewhere else. I think I might like him over here better. And you can put the slices on top of each other, like I just did this hummingbird over this leaf. Okay, so this is the first layer done, and I have mixed up 3 alcohol colors. One was orange, one was sunshine, and I think this was citrus. Alcohol inks that I mixed in an inch by inch. Okay, here's my translucent clay blended up with my alcohol ink colored squares. And this is the yellow, and I put 2 2-inch squares, or 1-inch square in. Here's my Skinner blend rolled out a couple of times, and I don't know if you can see it under the camera. There's a slight difference in the colors. Here's the orange and the greens and the yellows. Okay, the part of my translucent that I actually colored a little bit. Here's the green side at this end and the orange right here. At the edge of what is actually the top of my bowl. Here, and I'm going to work it around and press it down around those cane slices that are underneath it. I'm going to just smooth it out and make sure there's no air underneath it. And with polymer clay, you know how flexible this is, so it can be moved around quite easily. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I don't know if what I envision is actually going to be there. But the most important part of this is not to have any air bubbles. And make sure it is down over your cane slices. And bring it down to the edge of your bowl, because that's where you're going to loosen it up from after you bake it. We slide something thin and sharp underneath there to break the seal. Okay, when you get to parts like this that you need to cut out, with that clay sticking up to where I don't cut my canes underneath, I'm going in and cut it out and remove some of the excess clay that's there. I'm putting on my top circle here, and I put 4 ladybugs underneath here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Around by that circle cane that I had made. And I'm working out the air. And blending the sides down after I make sure the air's out in that area. And I want this part just a little bit thicker, because that's where my bowl's going to sit. That's sort of like the foot of the bowl. And I will bake it probably for about 40-45 minutes. Then we'll let it cool, and I'll be back to see what we have. See if it's what I thought it would be or not. Okay, this is my bowl after it's baked. And this is the side that had the translucent on it, and I put the canes on, and it was rolled out to a number 5. So this is sorta the effect I wanted. Something that you just really can't see real plain. But this idea didn't work. And we normally show you what does work, but I wanted to show you what didn't work. This is the bottom side of the bowl where I put my Skinner blend that I made out of the alcohol inks, which I don't even think if I'd have put a alcohol ink coloring in my translucent, it would have worked very well either. But as hard as I worked to get the air bubbles out and to get the canes down smooth and flat, I didn't. We all know that translucent is notorious for plaquing, which is your white spots and stuff. But I thought I had this down smooth, and I just didn't. It still had air underneath parts of it and stuff. So this I'll use on my entry hall table for myself. But I will do a video on how to do something like this correctly, because I think the idea is okay. And I love these cane slices, which I have enough to do one more bowl. And I love the flowers with them. It's just something unusual and out of the ordinary. So I will do this. Normally we show you good things that we end up with. But a lot of us practice several times before we record a video. I didn't think this would work, so I wanted to record it as I went to show you what doesn't work. I do like the inside of it. It would be helpful if it was a little more clear. I should have used Pardo translucent clay, but I used the Primo. I think the Pardo is a lot more clear, and maybe these would show up better. But I'll redo this and show you next time what I did. So at least you get to see my mistakes, and sometimes my ideas do not work. The only thing that really worked well with this was I managed to get it out of the bowl very easily to make my own clay bowl. So I will be using that bowl again. So you all have a good week, and let me know what you think. Blessings.